Well, I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, and I thought I'd try to let you know what's been going on and what I've been up to. Back in February, I went with my sons to Montana, West Yellowstone, and rode snowmobiles for a week and had a great time up there. I've got some videos. I'll throw a couple in here and kind of show you some of that action.
Good.
Hola. Pretty awesome one so
Hola.
far. Good times.
Good times. What do you think about that?
I only got to see that bike.
Yeah! Here we are at Old Faithful. Yeah. Waiting for it to blow, right?
Yep, there she blows.
When I got back, I realized that I've been spending so much time with new tech inventors working on these lap diners, assembling them and getting them ready to put on the website and everything, that I'm probably missing out on some better things in life, like the snowmobiling. And my wife and we took the dogs and went to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and spent a little bit of time up there. And we always enjoy trips like that and staying in a cabin and so forth. I've been trying to do more family-oriented things, and my wife has a to-do list that's a mile long, so I've been working on that also, and I'll show you some of the projects there. So needless to say, I had to back off a little bit on getting the lap diner on the website and getting it to market, because I just didn't feel like I had the time to assemble all of those units that I would need to put it on the website. I just needed a little break. I've been printing, 3D printing, and I've been hot and heavy on the Helping Hand and the Lap Diner and some other projects since early 2020 during COVID. So that's a long time. A lot of you guys have been along for the ride and have seen all of the different projects I've had and things that I've accomplished. And of course, this assembly area was one of the things that I needed pretty bad to be able to get the parts assembled and everything. And I felt pretty good getting this project finished where I could use this area, and we've used it to do a lot of the assembly and so forth. And with it just being me by myself doing all of this, it takes a toll, and sometimes you just need a break. So I took a little bit of a break. So I've been doing a little less down here and working on some other projects and so forth, and trying to enjoy things a little bit more and not get bogged down. So that's where we're at. So I'll show you some videos, or I'll put some clips in here showing you some of the different projects I've been on. Okay, this is my four-wheeler. I've had it since 2006, and it's been a real good machine. I've got new tires on it. I wore the other ones off. Got the sprayer on the back. I used to have this boom so I could spray larger areas, but I'm going to take it off and just use this one sprayer. But I fill this up with chemicals that kill the weeds and stuff, and I can spray along the driveway, around the building here, and so forth. The problem is I had some work done on this. I've got the cover off right now, and when it came back it had a fuel leak, and the guy fixed the fuel leak, but when he brought it back where the choke cable goes in, it had come out, and I don't know exactly how it happened, but anyway, I'm stuck now with a machine that won't run because I can't get the choke to work. So I ordered a new part and found that there was a piece missing. So I've got it assembled. The only thing is, it's way up in here and I can't reach up in there to get it screwed back into the carburetor. So I may have to get my son and see if he can do it. If not, then I'm going to have to take this whole fuel tank and stuff here off to be able to get down there to it. So that's one of my projects. Now, why do I need this thing? For a couple reasons. One, I need to spray my fence lines. All the property that I have here is fenced, so I have to keep that sprayed to keep stuff from growing up and so forth. I also need to keep this grass sprayed around here in this area. And in addition to that, about 1/8 of a mile this way, I've got some property that goes on down to a creek, and I have power run down there and a pump that pumps water from a little reservoir that I built or dug in the ground next to the creek, and it comes up and keeps water in the pond, especially in the summertime when it has a tendency to get low like it is now when we haven't had much rain. So I like to use this to go down there, because I go down there to work on it and then I'm having to go back and forth, and it's just a long way for an old man to walk. So I need to get this going so I can do that job also. Another project I have is getting rid of these trees and everything that are down here. These were all came down during a storm that we had, and we've cut up a bunch of them and have a bunch of the trees around here. But this is a pretty big mess I need to clean up. And then over here on the other side, we've got more. You can see the holes here need to be filled in, smoothed out, where these other trees were uprooted, and that one needs to come down. They're laying down here in the woods. So I've got a lot of cleaning up of this stuff. I'll have to use the excavator to do that. Get this yard cleaned up and everything again. And this wasn't a job I asked for. It's just one that Mother Nature thought I needed to have. Okay, here's one more of my projects. As you can see, the pond is very low. Water level should be up right about here, but you can see how low it is. And this is where the water comes in from the pump that I have down at the creek. Like I said, it's about 1/8 of a mile from here. So it pumps the water all the way up here and keeps this pond at a good, reasonable level, keeps fresh water in it. So that needs to be fixed. Also, have another pump in here, and this particular pump goes out in the pond and it aerates the water. It just shoots like a fountain water up in the air, and it keeps the water aerated for the fish and so forth. And my wife likes to come out here in the evenings and sit on the bank and fish. So that's the project there. Okay, here's the gate I was talking about. We used to have this cattle gate up here, and when I lived on the other part of the property in the other house, we only used this for access, and we would sometimes bring the equipment in here and use that green building as a shop to work on it. But now that we're living over here, getting rid of the cattle gate, and we put up some additional fencing so that other dogs and animals can't get on the property. We have an electric wire on top here that helps with some of that, and we also want to keep our animals, our two little dogs, from getting out. So that's the reason for all the fencing. And the entire property is fenced in using this kind of fencing. So I've got the gate. We put these posts in. I had to cut this piece out of angle iron and bolt it on. I got some rubber here as stops to help it stop. Gate's pretty heavy, and we've got a control arm that we've got on. I dug a trench right through here over to where that white post is, and where this white post is, this is where my exit sensor is. It's buried right there. So when a vehicle comes up, it will sense the vehicle and automatically open the gate. Like I said, I've got the gate shut off right now because the people that need to get in here, like FedEx and UPS, and post office and so forth, don't have their codes yet. I've got to get with them and give them their codes. Then when they get their codes, they can enter them into this box when they come on the property, and that will open the gate. We got that thing set in concrete. We've got a Wi-Fi bridge, so we're going to have Wi-Fi out here,
and the Wi-Fi will have a Wi-Fi camera, probably a couple of them out here, so that we can communicate. It'll be like a doorbell, like a Ring doorbell type thing added to that post. So if someone comes that doesn't have a code, they can contact us and we can communicate with them. And these are my boxes. This is where the power and everything is. This is the control box. Switch underneath it turns it on. And then once it's turned on, it can be opened by entering a code out there or using one of these little push button like garage door openers, or it can be opened by a vehicle passing the sensor back there. So I've got a little bit more to do. I've got to fill this hole in, probably paint this post, mount my camera up there on it, wire it in, and so forth. But other than that, everything's ready to go. I just pushed the button to close the gate. And I'll adjust it a little bit. And I pressed it again to open it. So we got all the codes programmed in to that unit. We got our gate adjusted and set up. And we got our sensor working. So everything's good. And we'll cut the power back off so it won't close. So just about finished, but that took me a while. I worked several days on getting that thing going. Just another project. Okay, another little project I'm working on. Had a problem in this area. As you can see, this is my wife's $200 Japanese maple that's gone. And she thinks it's because the ground is too wet in this area. So got a shovel and I've dug down, try to see what it's like and just how wet it is down there. Doesn't seem to be that wet. We were thinking that maybe there's a slow leak in the water line coming into the house, because it comes across here and goes into the house. This whole area right here was probably about 1.5 feet, about that deep, because the bottom of that hole was the natural grade that was here. And what we did, we built this up a little bit to level it off, and we filled this in with a lot of dirt. Had a few dump truck loads of dirt brought in here to help with this backfill, and some of this dirt has a lot of clay in it, like that right there. You can tell by. And what I'm thinking is that we may have gotten a lot of that clay built up around here, and it may be acting like a clay pot with all this fine topsoil sitting on top of it, and then the plants in that, so that when it rains and everything, that water, other than what evaporates, it won't drain through the ground. So if that's the case, then I need to do something about it. The other option is maybe we do have a slow leak someplace in the water line. So what I'm going to do is cut the water off to the house. There's a cutoff right inside, and I've got another cutoff over there, and then the other cutoff's way on down where the meter is. So I'm going to cut it off over there in those trees. Got a box, and cut it off inside the garage. Then that will isolate this section of pipe that's coming through here, and I'll leave it like that overnight, and then come back tomorrow morning and come out here to this other valve box and slowly turn that valve on. And if there's been any water leaking, even a slow leak, you will hear water flowing through that valve, kind of like when you turn the faucet on in your house and you hear that. So here's where my valve box is. Haven't been in here in a while, so you can see it's kind of sunken down there in the dirt. Okay, and there's the valve. It looks like mice or something have gotten in there, filled it up with dirt. So I'm gonna get that to where I can get to it, shut that valve off later tonight before we go to bed, after we've used whatever water we're going to use this afternoon, and then in the morning come out here and do the test.
So let me know what you think. If you'd rather go back to a little more of the technical stuff, fine. But if you like seeing just some of the crazy things that I get into, then we'll take a shot at that. Well, I think that just about wraps it up for now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the videos, subscribe, give me a like, let me know in a comment what you think or what you would like to see more of, and we'll try to work that in. So until the next time, happy printing from New Tech Inventors.